Who remembered to green their mic on? Who did that? Who did that? How's my volume? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Great to see you guys. Welcome to a beautiful Thursday. Hey, volumes look good from this level. You let me know. You let me know how's it looking from that level, and I will follow suit. Welcome to, I typed it in, and it's already scrolled through the chat. Dang it. Which is great. I'm glad you guys are here. Episode 170, Groundhog in the den. Groundhog in the den. Episode 170, Groundhog in the Den. I'm going to start writing this down. I'm getting back in my program. Yesterday, holy cow, I cleaned the crap out of that room right there. You could see all the dead candles surviving the book writing. But man, the room was even worse. It was like a napalm buffet in there. Yeah. When you write a book, everything else stops. You guys notice that. The live stream stopped. Everything stops. Everything stops. But it's done. The book is waiting for you to pre-order right now. It's there waiting. It's like, please, pre-order me. We must have you come pre-order my book because James works so hard and it's going to blow you away. In fact, Tease told me, he wrote me yesterday, and he's read the first chapter, and he stopped, took the time to say, dude. He didn't actually use the word dude, but he liked it, and I think you guys might too. In fact, just for you guys bringing it up, pre-order my book. Anyone catch that? There's a link to it. James gets squirrels, birds, and groundhogs. I'm stepping on snakes, being dive bombed by birds. They have spiders jumping on me. What am I doing wrong? Stacy, I tell you, I wonder if it is an electrical thing, meaning that if I remember correctly, you were closer to a larger center of Babylon. I'm not saying you're in Babylon, but you're closer to it. And maybe what you're experiencing is that these guys feel the dissonance and they see you as a conduit, someone who will listen to them, if that makes sense, right? They know you will listen. They know no one else will listen, but they know you will. And so they come to you for that. And I'm not saying this is going to make you feel better, but, it's a pretty decent theory if you think about it. Note to self, buy James' book today. Very good note, Vincenzo. Everyone remind Vincenzo that he really needs to buy my book today. Allegedly, I have to wait a year to get my copy as OKC. That's right. If you've gotten your book from other hosts, you might actually from DVDs from other hosts, it might take over a year. But no, someone else asked the book. Let me see. Yesterday, the printer came back with a minor issue on the binder. No big deal. Fixed that. Got it uploaded this morning. And so now print production should begin any minute. And I'm expecting to be able to mail them to you by the end of the month. I wish it was sooner, but this is how long it takes. I think it's because, before you guys get all like, why should that take so long? You have to realize, do you know how many monks it freaking takes to write all the letters in there? I mean, it's freaking insane. And to make it look like it's, like a typewriter or like a printer is really hard work. It's really, really, really hard. So I think we should kind of maybe take a moment to thank all these monks and the scribing of what they're doing. Regurgitation was the oldest magic trick. The not the ability to regurgitate. I'm talking about the ability to have someone else regurgitate you is truly the oldest magic trick alive. And to be able to automate that into a machine is, if you think about the alchemy in that, it's pretty freaking stellar. The printing press, all the way back to the Heidelberg, actually before the Heidelberg, but the typesetting and the printing press really did cement the difference between elite and peasant. It really did. We like to tell us in our history that, oh no, the newspapers gave the people a voice. No, newspapers gave the people an ear. Do you understand? It gave them an ear, not a voice. Newspapers gave people an ear. It gave them the ability to either like or dislike something that was printed on every page. And that chemistry, that electrical chemistry, is how you warp minds. And we all warp minds. I can love you and warp your mind, by the way, just to be fair. All of us are exerting our prejudice on everyone, whether we want to admit it or not. I have set up some different cameras this morning. You see, this is, yeah, baby, having some seed, enjoying a beautiful day on the live stream. I got some nice seed here, just taking my time. That's right. Got a new cam on. Yeah, baby. You enjoy that seed. You enjoy. You take your time. Yeah. Yes, he's camera shy. He's like, I did not expecting that. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. See, he just won't look. He'll look anywhere but here. Also, we have this one too. Whoa, wait. We have this one too. This, if you guys don't know, Hummingbird Cam is down for, I would say, for the year. I don't think that we live in a harsh climate here. And hummingbirds, when they wear those long down coats, it really slows them down. They're just like, they can barely keep up with all those jackets on. And the zippers, holy shit, it's really hard to make those things super small. So the zippers, and because they're cheaper to buy, you can buy like a shitload of zippers now. The hummingbirds use regular size zippers on those coats. So there's like 3 teeth in there, it's like, and then it's up. And then that weight just drags it all down. You might be wondering why they do not incorporate Velcro. And that's because you do not understand how fine the hairs of a hummingbird are. And that they tried that and ended up with some balding hummingbirds flying around. So there you go. Guys, there's a lot going on over here. And I have a presentation to create for Flattoberfest. That's right. This weekend. Saturday is Flattoberfest. I'm wondering if that's too loud. Maybe this is better. I bet you this is better. Let's see if this is better volume here. Saturday. That's right, guys. Flattoberfest is this Saturday. You guys, it is not too late to get tickets. There are no masks required in this space. Notice I said required. What I really like about Karen is Karen's like the person who's running this thing. She's like, I'm not going to be a fascist by demanding you don't wear a mask. But what she's done is secured a facility that will no way, shape, or form try and encourage or mediate or mandate or decree that anyone should wear a mask. And I want to applaud Karen B for doing that. That is awesome. And Saturday, you can come mask-free to this thing. If you want to wear a mask, hey, baby, knock yourself out. But if you want to come there at noon, the doors open, and it is a fantastic lineup. And I would get there early. I would get there at noon if I was you, because right out of the gate, Jason Langram, he's not like right at noon, but he's like one of the earlier speakers. So I think he'll be a good thing. I am on at 5:30 or 5. It's one of those. You'll figure it out, but you'll already be there. And so yeah, you guys should check it out. You guys should not only that, you need to be there. You need to be there. We are already having crew that are heading down there to set up, and yeah, it's going to be great. Hey, Rose is in the house saying I will be upset if anyone shows up in a mask, and it's really going to upset me if I see a mask. And that is why we have the dojo, because we are here to make things expensive or affordable. And I freaking love that Rose is going to make that expensive for people. If you want to wear a mask, she's going to make it expensive. She's not going to force that on you, but she's going to make it expensive. And that is how we change the world. That's how we do it. Yeah, she's telling you she's not going to physically attack anyone. But guys, I would realize that physical attack is really like the best thing that could ever happen to you, because a woman's eyes seeing you through scorn is holy fuck. I can still see my mom's eyes today. Some of the things that she's looked at me through, some of the passageways through her Plato's cave that she has looked at me through, wondering why I am doing what I'm doing, wondering how I got to this decision in my life. I tell you that, if she just would have like tried to beat me up, that would have been so much better. Because then I could be like wandering around going, oh, I'm such a victim. Oh, look how victimized I am. So it's, yeah, Jason Linger is so dope. I agree, Bullets and Beers. Bullets and Beers, you have a very, very interesting sense of humor. I just want to point that out. Your comments and stuff, I've really gotten to know and appreciate you more than I have in the beginning. And I just want to point that out. So yeah, there you go. Hey, Tricky Woo in the house. Always good to see you, my friend. Hell hath no fury like like a woman scorned, or the look of a woman in scorn, right, Mammy? That's probably even a better way to do it. Doesn't that show you the power of witness? We've talked about this before, right? That witness is amplified what you're doing. If you think something is wrong, if someone's witnessing you doing that, you are going to feel it's wrong times a certain amount. I say a certain amount because it's going to depend on how seated you are in your body. I would argue that you could be so seated in your body that if you do something wrong, that you would be accountable for 99.9% of how bad that feels, but you still are going to feel that 0.1% coming from someone else because witness is that powerful. It's just that powerful. And I'll tell you, as you and as me and as all of us gain witness on our own actions, our witness towards someone else is that much more potent. It goes that much farther. And truly, it's one of the most powerful forces in the world. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I wrote a new book. I'm just kidding. In that book, I actually talk about witness because you will notice that if you see someone, I don't like when I say the word actually. In my book, I spoke about someone that hides behind witness. When you say actually, you're sort of implying the other person you're talking to is lying, by the way. I just want to point that out. I'm not saying it means all the time, but sometimes it does sort of imply that. It's like a subterranean thing, you know? But we can hide behind witness, and you will see this, right? Someone will be hiding behind their phone as they're filming you. That person could be screaming at the person filming. They could be enraged. They could be this very dangerous animal, and that person feels safe behind their phone. I'm not saying they are safe. I'm saying they feel safe. It grants them electricity. And guys, if you think about that, the electricity, the reason why that works is because of witness. I would say to you that if the phone, okay, I can prove it. When I was a kid, we didn't have phones. We had Walkmans. Yeah, I'm old as fuck. So what? Walkmans. Yeah, you put little cassette. Okay, I'm really old as fuck. You put magnetic. Yeah, magnetic. You stored fucking data magnetically back then. And you did it on what's called a tape. And you took this tape and you stuck it inside this machine. And you closed the machine. And before you complain, the word Transformers came from me. Okay, I brought that from the abyss. The beauty of Transformers, the whole thing about the robots in disguise and the Walkman changing into a dude, I brought that out of the abyss. So don't be giving me shit about how old I am. But those Walkmans with the tape, the thing inside it, those had no witness. Those had no witness unless you could hit record. And Walkmans rarely had record. Thank God. Thank God. Because then you had to like pull out your tape and you had to like take tape and stick it on top of the safety mechanism tab so you could it was old school, man. It was old school, baby. And I'm trying to tell you that Walkmans didn't have witness, which is why you didn't see kids wandering around the mall hiding behind a Walkman going, oh yeah? So why is that? It's because of the witness. It's showing you how powerful the witness is. It's showing you the power of the potential for consciousness, the impending consciousness that's coming through. And if you'll notice that person who's always filming, whether it be in a coffee shop or whether it be one of the staged MAGA hat protests they had last year, or Candace Owens' beautifully streamed 4K coffee shop attack where she's decided to wear white on that one day while she goes in looking freaking stellar as fuck. She's surrounded by a film crew and someone decides to attack her. Oh my God, how convenient is that? This goes back to if your mom was to freaking hit you. Anyway, do you see how that gains power? Oh, I'm a victim. Oh, I'm a victim. And that's witness too, isn't it? We hide behind witness. We hide behind victim. These are how we protect ourselves. We protect our field this way. And I'd like for you to think about, I still have 3 Walkmans. That's hilarious, Dagmar. You keep those 3 Walkmans. I would like for you to think about the cone of shame. Yes, the cone of shame. That's right, the cone of shame, okay? I would like for you to realize that here is someone's witness, right? And it goes in all directions. It actually doesn't, right? Because you know someone, let's make that right. Here's someone's cone, and they can see roughly 180 degrees, right? With all your vision, that's roughly what you can see. And of course, your macular vision, right? Your focus vision is going to be wherever you are directly looking at, right? It's a very, very powerful force. This macular vision, by the way, is your rods and cones. That's right. All your RGB, all your rods and cones come through, and you only see color in that macular way, right? You could take this and spin it anywhere, right? You could look over here, and then this would be your rods and cones, right? All that would be your rods and cones. Now, witness, there is a witness protection program. Don't you like that? I coined that in the book, but it's true. There's a witness protection program at work. He's back here. And that witness protection program shows you how you can do stuff. So again, let's say that you are giving all of your direct witness, right? Your rods and cones are all shining at the same source, okay? And let's say that you, let's say that you are right here, all right? And you would form a witness protection cone. Because of your phone, here's the phone, right? And here's the dude. This dude is safe inside this cone. Everything else outside this cone is witnessed, right? There's no witness here. All of this is witnessed. All of this is witnessed. All of this is witnessed. This guy is not witnessed. Do you guys understand why we have privacy? Do you understand why you wear clothes? All of that is witness. All of it. Your clothing, your task, your ego, your field, your confidence, your jewelry. All of that is witness protection. Protection. The truth of who you are is more tied to your core shame. And core shame is good. Yeah, core shame is good. All right. The reason why shame is bad is because we inject shame onto each other. And the way we inject shame onto each other is by shedding our own power. And the only way we can shed our own power is to shame it. So we take our egoic field, the torus, that's running all around us, and we dismiss energy. And we do that by feeling shame. We feel shame for how white we are, for how black we are, for how red we are, for how yellow we are, for how whatever color we are, whatever sex we are, whatever xenophobic we are, whatever religion we are, whatever privilege we have. When we feel shame for that, we're shedding that energy. We're saying, I don't want this energy, I don't want this energy, I don't want this energy. And they do that all day long. We do that all day long until our capacitor, right? Here's what you would have, normal. And with shame, you're going to drain it all the way down to here, right? This is where you need to be to fit into society. Society says you are good when you are down here. And society says you were dangerous when you were up here. Why? Because that's your heart. All of that is your heart power. The most powerful thing in the world is a human heart. It's true. The most powerful instrument in the world is a human heart. We haven't even fully discovered everything it can do. It's amazing. It's amazing how badass that heart is. Now, if we were just purely honest with everyone else, believe it or not, that would make us vulnerable. It's true. If I was to tell you, oh, well, this is the most precious thing in my house, this brinksel, this little thing that I have here, right? This is actually pretty precious. This crystal that my friend Nate gave me is really special. It means the most to me. Let's pretend that out of everything, I'm not dissing on the crystal, by the way, but I'm just saying because I have dog in here, I've all kinds of stuff in here. Let's say this is the most precious thing that I have. if I was to protect this thing, if I wanted this thing to remain precious, I would not broadcast to every single person, regardless of who they are, that this is the most precious thing I have. That would be suicide. In fact, that's called having no boundaries, right? We call this codependency. We call this empathy. We call this... we'll even imply that anyone who was to come and hurt this thing that we exposed and said, this is the most precious thing I have, we would call them evil. We would say, you're a narcissist or you're a psychopath or whatever. We cover these things up. We develop secrets around them like a shellac, like a shell. You're going to love this book. Lies are crucial. 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 Deceit, lies, camouflage, they're crucial to your safety. And that the way that you associate with everyone is you do not tell everyone this crystal is the most valuable thing I own. You do not. You tell people that you trust. You tell them and only them. And you use that trust to build or retreat from a relationship, right? You will put out test sinkers in the water to know who you can and cannot trust. And the reason why we're so vulnerable is because I just explained it. It would be easy for someone to hurt me if they knew what the most precious thing in my life was. They could attack that. You guys have seen this in the comments about this girl, right? This girl with the other guy in the triangle and shit. When people don't like the show, they come in and they talk about her. And it's because they think or they know, oh, this is the most precious thing he has. I will smash it. I will smash it. And we do that to each other, whether we want to admit it or not. We feed each other in bite-sized pieces, our own hearts. We do. We feed that to each other. In fact, we expect people to read our minds and then punish them for not doing it. And that vitriol that we give each other is bringing telepathy. We're building teleempathy. We're building superpowers right now because of how shitty we treat each other. So thank you. Keep up the good work. People that have gotten mad at me because I didn't read their mind, all you're doing is honing my ability to use my adrenal antenna. Something that was precious to me, your friendship is gone because my adrenal antenna was not as accurate as it could be. Isn't that the opposite of victimhood? What I just told you. Looking at it that way is the antithesis of victimhood, isn't it? And as we start to understand, you're going to love this book, as we start to understand how important fields and emotions are, we realize that our emotions are not arbitrary chemicals. They're not arbitrary things based off the shame of our childhood or how broken we are because we have a certain fetish or how broken we're not because we lack a certain fetish. No, these fields are giving you an emotional cue into what your Taurus looks like, what your Taurus looks like. And that Taurus is a pumpkin, right? That wraps all around you. It's this pumpkin of energy, and you're inside. And it's huge. It's so big. Your Taurus is so big that people want you to shrink it all the time. They're like, yeah, could you shrink your Taurus a little bit? And this Taurus of energy has different layers to it. And these different layers are the different fields that we talk about in the book. And each of these fields has a different permeability. It's true. Each of these fields has a different hole. Yeah, hole, because we need energy to get through. We can't just block everything out. We can, but we won't be alive. We won't have a connection to the world. And these 7 fields, in order for them to work in the same dimension, because I want you to realize that as soon as you hit the outer field, if we were dealing with fields in a physical way, even in an electromagnetic way, we would not be able to permeate them. Do you understand? Because charge is universal, plus or minus. This is your elemental field. So these fields need holes. They need holes in them, my friends. They need holes. And the one field that doesn't need holes is probably your elemental field. That's your base field. That's your skin. And it does have holes because you have pores, right? And when you feel goosebumps, when all the hairs raise on your mind, you are polarly activating your elemental field. This is your elemental field down here. It's your base one. It's the very, 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 very first one around you. Now, as these fields build on top of each other, they need to be permeable. If the second field was as thick as the elemental field, there would be no reason to have a third, fourth, or fifth field. In fact, there would be no reason to have a first field because the second field would block it, which is why the second field has holes. It doesn't stop everything. It has different layers of holes through it. Now, this is around the torus, right? All these fields, all of these fields are wrapped around the torus. Now, this second field, this is your elemental field, your skin. This is your sex field, your gender field. All right? You're identifying through your pH. The pH balance in you is identifying you. It's manly of man's or womanly of womaning and everywhere in between, right? It's going to be based on the vibration that's coming out of this field, this gender field. How you relate to the world is directly proportional to the pH inside you, to the oil and salt, the mixture of those things inside you. Now, on top of that field, we'll keep going. I'm not going to go through each field right now because you should read my book. What I'm trying to show you, though, is that how each of these fields have holes in them, how each of these fields is permeable, that the next field only has a very light moire pattern, almost like a fence. And that energy can permeate this field, and this field all at the same time. Right? And this keeps going, There's actually 7. That's why I'm not going to do them all right now. But if you imagine that each of these 7 fields has a different armature, right? A different way of getting past it, you can start to see how it is that we are able to see different fields on top of each other. And that is the body's electricity. And we are so retarded that we think the electricity of our body is emotion. It's emotion. That's what we think. And I'm not even saying you shouldn't call it emotion. I'm trying to see that we're grasping at straws right now, right? We're grasping at things to try and understand them. We're trying to see. We're trying to peer through the veil. Turn around, have some peanuts, yeah. Why is your face all wet? Yeah. Anyway. So, these electrical fields have the ability to hide and shield themselves, which comes back down to the idea of witness, right? That you can hide inside your cone of witness and play with yourself. You can do things that you'd be ashamed of. We go into a bathroom stall, right? Why would anyone be ashamed to go in the bathroom? Guys, think about it. Everyone goes to the bathroom. Everyone. The act of sitting down with your pants down doesn't actually expose your genitals at all. If anything was to expose you, it would be the sound. I'm just saying. But bathrooms don't give a shit about sound. They only give a shit about sight because they're looking at society on this very, very, very basic fundamental level of witness protection. And you and me lose calories without this witness protection. If we were to wander around naked, telling everyone our deepest fears and our deepest desires, we would be naked and vulnerable. And I would say to you that what's the point of being here if you're going to be naked and vulnerable? Why even leave? Why walk through the doors of the Garden of Eden? If you want to be one, if you want to be the universal one and just be with everyone and trust everyone and just know everything's fine, don't worry. You will be back there. You will get back to that spot. But here right now, while we're here right now, it's time to work on your subtle energy. And that I would argue that the reason why your friends, your loved ones, your dojo is your family, it's the people you love. The reason why they treat you like shit for not reading their minds is because deep, deep down electrically, they believe in you. They believe in your ability to read their mind. And when I say mind, I really mean their body, their ability to read their emotional state. And they want you to have that ability. And if you think about it, it's profound because the brain is a lure lead. The brain is that little bobber on top of the surface. You're fishing, right? The red and white bobber. And when it gets pulled, you know that probably something important that you're going to like happened down below. You don't know for sure, but it's your indicator. And that's what our brain is doing. We have telepathic thoughts with each other. We communicate with words. We talk to each other. And that's the bob, isn't it? Because deep down, oh, hi, Gina. It's great to see you. Oh, I love your dress. You're just so fabulous, Gina. Oh, Gina, what you said the other day just really touched me. And then deep down, Gina, I'm going to fucking kill you. 2 levels, right? 2 levels. And you and I are taught to, we're learning to fish. We're learning to fish for feelings, aren't we? We're learning. We are here to, man, we are fucking here to brand our witness into the back-ass hide of this world. We're here to burn the ether. Burn our witness. Burn ourselves. What we do, what we think, how we feel into the ether. And we cannot do that with our thoughts. Because these are, don't trust these essay. Don't trust these. This is bullshit essay. No, this is hook. This is bobber. And it's fascinating, what I was trying to get to earlier before I distracted myself, was that what's fascinating about this is that salt works the same way. Yeah, that every time that your grandfather is reborn, every fucking time he's reborn, amnesia hits again. And he has to start over. He has to start over except for his salts. Meaning he has to remember who he is, where he came from, what his family are, what his roots are, what his heritage are, how his fields work, how all this shit works. But he can't use his mind. He can't write himself a note on the bottom of his foot saying, to activate ego field, press toe against left corpuscle. It can't work that way because we are not just learning, we are becoming. To learn is to become. To become something. You just think that you're learning. You think you're installing data in your head, but you're not. You're not. You're training yourself like a bonsai. You're training yourself with pruning. You're bending your branches, you're cutting them, you're slicing them, you're morphing them to each other. You're grafting them to each other. And the whole process is painful and it hurts, but you're creating something and you, the plant, don't even know. You don't even know what that final shape's going to be, nor should you, because it has really nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. What do you mean it's none of your business? Because by the time you get to there where it's your business, you're not really who you think you are. You are your DNA. You're your entire family line. And you just don't have the capacity or the resolution to think that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are a singular being. And we are slowly training our salts. And the only way we know our salts work is we have all this bullshit neocortex in our head that's acting as the bob. My grandfather was a writer. This 5th book proved that. I secreted that. I secreted the essence of what he had already learned into that message. And it flows. I'm not a hockey player. I'm not a football player. I'm not a million things. But I am a writer. My salt remembers who I am. And the universe around me, the ether around me, rewards me for remembering, whether I want to or not. I find success in this book because you guys are going to buy one. I find success from it. That is my salt remembering. And James True won't remember. My descendants will. I don't have kids, but my DNA line is out there. I am the node on a tree. If we want to freak out about not having kids, you might as well look at a tree and look at one of the branches and start yelling at the leaf, going, you don't have any kids. Because we don't understand how to truly understand what we are. We're much bigger than we think. When I say we're giants, I mean that. I mean that it's so tall. Do you know how tall it is? When you imagine what it's like to stand on your parents' shoulders, your parents are standing on your grandparents' shoulders, your grandparents are standing on your great-grandparents' shoulders, and on and on and on and on. That is a tall fucking totem. And you are the avatar. You are the one at the top right now. You're the one speaking. I wouldn't even say top. I would say surface, because the ones at the top haven't come yet. Like a Pez dispenser, my friends. We are Pez dispensers. And the words that we say, that's just the fucking plastic top going, spitting out pellets. It means nothing. The same way when you talk to your friends and you say, "Are you okay?" And they go, "Yeah." And you know that's not true. You know that's not true. And them saying "yeah" is actually giving you an indication of their field, isn't it? It's true. It's showing you, see if I can draw this. It's showing you that the outer layer is permeable. And the inner layer is frozen. How do I know that? Because you can ask, right? Here's the person that's not okay. You can ask, and it gets in through the outer layer because they answer. But it stops at this elemental layer where they're vulnerable. They're too vulnerable to expose that layer, so they don't. And we think it's as simple, oh, because they're a liar, that's all. They stop lying. This is me in a nutshell, by the way. Oh, that person lied to me, so fuck them. They're not lying. They're telling you exactly what you want. They're giving you the most finest detailed analysis, diagnostic of their field as they can. I'm fine. I'm fine means I am permeable. I'm fine means I am telling you I am not fine. I'm fine means I'm telling you all those things except for my words are telling you I'm fine. My body's telling you I hurt. The fact that you're asking proves you know. The fact that you're asking, "Are you okay?" proves that your witness was able to penetrate through the hole of the outer field and through the hole, the different kind of hole, of the next field and come all the way through to the kisser. Right? All the way through. Right? You could call this task field. Right? We're acting like we're busy. You can call this your casual field. We're wearing pleated pants, so come on. Completely fine here. Do you start to see how this works? That people aren't lying to you. People are doing their best because you're asking them. You're asking them with words. You're not asking where the fish are. You're asking, "Where's your bobber? Hey, where's your bobber?" And you're dealing with fishermen who don't even use bobbers anymore because they realize it's fucking pointless. They realize that all you're doing is giving the fish a cue. And so you look at those bobbers and you're like, "Those guys don't even pay attention to the news. They don't even follow. What's wrong with them?" Oh, it's because they're conspiracy anarchists. Antifa KKK people is what they are. And we've lost it all. But I ask you, why are you going to a stock trout stream for food? No, you want to come with me. We're going to the ocean, baby. Yeah, Ishmael, that bitch. We're finding some deep truth. And we're not harpooning it. No, we're kissing on the belly and throwing it back. We're watching what happens after we kiss it. That's what we're doing. It's a whole other level in here. So of course they're going to think we're insane. Of course they're going to think this is crazy. Guys, you're dealing with people that all it takes is a simple vote. Do you realize how much prana is going to come from people wearing these stickers? They're going to walk around. Right? They're going to walk around like, see if I can put it on me here. Oh, look, I voted. Yep. I voted. Right? And really what it should say is, "I consented." That's what it should say. Wouldn't it be cool if people walked around and we gave them these stickers? "I consented." Yeah, all this is going on? Fuck. I consented to that. Whoops. I consented to this. I consent 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 to this. And you keep consenting and consenting. It shouldn't say "I voted." It should say "I consented." And you see the power of the sticker because the state can give you that sticker and you walk around with free virtue. Everywhere you go, people are going to throw virtue at you like a dart. There you go. "Hey, way to go, you voted. Oh, fucking genius. Way to fucking go. You picked one of two colors. Holy shit. Well, wait a minute. Let me bake you a cake." You know, it's when I tell you that we are all retarded, I mean that. I mean that. By the way, guys, you can say retarded on Twitter now. I know this is kind of like a way aside, but I just want to point that out. We need this word. We need this word retarded. My friend got so mad at me the other day. And he's like, that's why I stopped talking to you 3 years ago, because you used the word retarded. And I think that's retarded. Retarded is to stunt growth. What word would you like me to use? You're stunted growthed? Is that what we want? Guys, you can use retarded. Look, if you podcasters. Hello, James. We have received a complaint regarding your account from the following content. Tweet ID 13181534555048007686. Tweet text, God sugar baby. God made atheists retarded so people would be nice to them. Yeah. Someone reported that, and it's allowed to stay. God made atheists retarded so people would be nice to them. And it's true, because God wants atheists to have privacy. It's crucial. It's crucial. And it's showing you who we're dealing with. If you were to revoke your right to vote, the next time someone asks you who you voted for, you would get to proudly hold your spine up and say, you know what? I unregistered to vote this year. And they're like, what? And like, yeah, I feel like consenting to one of two colors is almost like a sign that I'm mentally ill, that I'm mentally deranged. Now, I'm not saying you to go that far because you'll lose your opponent. I don't want you to lose your opponent. But you can make that sticker expensive. You can make that sticker ruin all the prana they get from wearing it. You can do that. And that's going to make it more expensive for you next time. Guys, the people that are voting, it's not even like they really want to vote. They're not like, oh, I can't wait to vote. They're looking for that little push. And that little push comes through every social media you go to, telling you to vote. Beautiful clip art of people voting. That's all it takes, right? Just a little Good Morning America when they screaming and yelling at the morning because they can't believe how happy they are that it's the fucking morning. And they're going around patting each other on the back because they voted. That's a very, very low budget piece of Pez. And it wouldn't take much for you to make that expensive, for you to look at them and say, hey, you know what? I would like to make that expensive. Because there's no difference here. This is exactly the same. I voted. I consented. I voted. I consented. That's what they're doing, and you can tell them that. When I say they, I'm assuming that you've unregistered to vote. I think you should, though. I think you should stop consenting. And I think that you could use every election, not as something to lose power, but as a position to gain power. You can gain power and gain tribe by doing things like this, by making memes like this, by posting them, by whatever. I'll be posting this one later. That's all it takes. You don't have to change anyone's mind. You don't. You just have to make it expensive. And it works, guys. It works. Here's one. I absentee voted. I absentee consented. That's really more accurate, isn't it? I absentee consented. This would really be the most accurate thing that happens around here. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So yesterday, me and my dog were laying right there. You know, we're just laying right there on the couch, just chilling out. And it's afternoon, 2, 3 in the afternoon. This is when I get a little wily there. He's like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy." And so we were hanging out. He's probably a little embarrassed about this because he's a dog. Before I tell you this story, guys, my dog's retired. I do not expect any kind of work load out of my dog. He fucking earned it. So any of you who are about to shit talk my dog energetically, please understand he's retired. Any cats that are listening to this right now, my dog is badass, okay? And he would give you a run for your money when that time was right, but he's retired now, that's all. And we're sitting in my couch, just like this. You guys know the layout here, kind of. And yeah, in fact, I think I can do this. Yeah, so here's my door. This right here is my front door. And that's my porch. I live on the 3rd story, but we'll call it 2nd floor. That's fine. But my house is kind of like a tree house, kind of. And it is on the 3rd floor. And a freaking groundhog walked into my house yesterday. He walked in. It's amazing. He walked in and he crested the edge of the couch, and he was like, and he just looked around, and I looked at him, and I was so startled I was frozen for a minute. And of course I tried to grab my phone because I really wanted to show you guys, because I wasn't making this up. And by grabbing the phone, he freaked out and he ran down the stairs. But he could be back. And yeah, those guys are getting all fat for the holiday. So yeah. Some of you guys saw a Sasquatch on the not all, some of you. You saw a Sasquatch on the thumbnail, and people are like, oh, we're going to talk about Sasquatch. We can talk about Sasquatch, but I'd rather give you a better take on it. In fact, the Sasquatch is part of what I'm doing for the Eye of Ra. If you were to come to Flattoberfest, you would see that, because we are talking about Aperture. Flattoberfest, this Saturday. You could come. Starts at noon. Tickets are cheap. It's in Greenville, South Carolina. You could come and check it out. It'd be great. The Sasquatch is going to be the costume. See, just like there you have these fields we talked about. You can render someone else's field. You can choose which parts of the energy of someone else you want to see. Yeah. If you hate someone, you're going to only see things that fulfill your aperture. Oh, look how stupid those boots are, right? Look how bald his head is. Or look how arrogant he holds his cup, right? And then someone else can look at the exact same energy and render a completely different person. Oh, look how proud he is in his posture. Look how insightful it was what he just said. And two people are looking at the exact same thing. This proves aperture. And we do that to other people so much that we don't know it, because we've been doing it the whole time. We do that to turkeys. We do that to skunk. We do that to owls. We do that to people. We put them in costumes so we can swallow them. We put them in the Pez dispenser because it's the only way to keep us interested enough to swallow their pellets, their photons. And if you were to ask me, is Sasquatch real? I would say to you that I think that the energy that we read is going to change costumes all the time. My book, Wonders of the Sky, not my book, but the book that I bought that I've shared here all the time, dictates that, showing you that through the ages, different energy appears in different costumes, that it dresses itself in different ways. And that everyone that I've had a conversation with that have had Sasquatch encounters, and there's been a few, they've all told me, when I say a few, like 3 or 4, which is kind of a lot, the common denominator that I hear from all of them, although they don't say this verbatim, is that it's an energy. There's an energy of the forest. And they feel that. And I think that they are using the natural power of personification that we all have. We personify our neighbors. We do. We give them life. We personify the birds. We personify nature. We're the ones that give it that life. And if we do not think that nature has the ability to have that sort of life, we will not see it. It's just that simple. We will not see. We will not see it. And it's good, because that's a safety mechanism we need to feel comfortable. And this is the essence of the Eye of Ra. The Eye of Ra is your first eye, not your third. It's your first eye, not your third. It's your first eye, not your third. Think about it. It sees first. It sees first, routes it back to the occipital lobe, passes up through the amygdala, and then down Plato's cave into your retina wall. The caverns of Plato's cave are your retina wall. It shows you those shadows. It shows you those shadows in the rods and cones, right? It'll broadcast your macular vision, your RGB, and it will absorb. This is your female vision, by the way, your peripheral vision. Think of your peripheral vision as a pool, and think of your macular vision as an obelisk, right? And your obelisk can only point in one spot. Your pool can reflect, it can pull, it can absorb everything. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Guys, I want to complain. TSP and TBS. This means tablespoon, and this means teaspoon, and this means tablespoon. And I just want to say that all the dyslexic people out here, you guys suck for doing this. Do you realize how close these are? This is insane. We need to fix this. All right, total sidebar, but come on, get your shit together. Ridiculous. Crazy. Are there any grievances today? Let's pull them in. Let's see if we can pull in some grievances today. That's right, it's the airing grievances time. It's time in that day for anyone to air a grievance. If anyone has any grievances, legitimate or otherwise, please speak them now. We'll read them out here for anyone else to see. I have come to see animals have better judgment than humanity. I trust my animals. They have more discerned judgment, I think, for sure. But Brandon, also to that point, if you think about it, an animal doesn't actually have the trust resolution that man does. I just want to point that out, that it does lack that trust resolution. Gaia Bear fucking nailing it, knocking it out of the park. Sasquatch is just the ghost of Neanderthalic man. I would say to you, Gaia Bear, and to anyone else, that please consider that not only is this true, that the giants forgot who they were. They grew their hair super long. They stopped wearing clothes, and they became the Sasquatch. And that when we remember the giants, the Sasquatch remember who they are, and that they need us to help. Just want to add that. I think what you're saying is right on. What else we got here? Tablespoon is actually TBSP. How dare you, Suncook Bear? How dare you? 1 equals T equals TSP, capital T equal. I like that, Christine Moss. I like that. I like that a lot. That small t is teaspoon. Big T is tablespoon. You guys have probably already had that. It's always worked, but I just want to point out that, and that's crazy that we're doing that. It's crazy. Got a lid on your cup today? No, I don't. I'm actually drinking coffee. I need to get to that. But I've cleaned out this back room, and holy cow, so many things are going to get clean. I can't wait. It's now the book's done. I can't wait to clean. It's great. Are there other planets that are flat? Can you name one planet that is flat, Andrew? My agreement is that I see the moon as a sphere. Is the Earth? How can you see the moon as a sphere? Like, in other words, how could you actually see that? Because what I see is a holographic circle. It has like a lunar wave to it, even. So just something to think about. I don't know if we've ever seen a planet, Andrew. I think only in your mind have we seen a planet. In fact, I would argue that Dojo Earth put the moon there as a holographic moon to allow you to have privacy. Guys, you're going to love this book. I explained to you why we have atheism. Do you realize that when when you were born, God gave you the tincture of amnesia? So think about it. Why would he do that? Maybe the reason why he gave you that tincture of amnesia and put you in a place that you could think is a spinning ball, that you could think had a spinning moon, that guys, every single thing that you say could never reach God's ears because of the vacuum of space, that everything you do, every time you play with yourself, every time you play with someone else, every time you do something bad, that the vision of what you've done cannot even reach God's eyes because of how fast this apparent universe is shrinking. That it's shrinking faster than the speed of light. And that there is no way that you could have more privacy from God with all of those things thrown together. And this is truly the definition of Dojo Earth. This is what we talk about here, talk about in the book, and talk about my book, and talk about in Dojo. That God has given us this gift of privacy because he wants to see what we do with it. That if we would have walked in here and known the whole time that God was watching, we would not be behaving the same way. It's crucial, which if you believe this idea, your mind starts blowing. Because you're realizing that the Freemasons that we're talking about, you realize that so many of these programs why did they not just kill the NASA Challenger crew? Why would they not just send out guns and just shoot them all? It's just 7 people. Telling me that the evil psychopathic Luciferian satanic pedophiles wouldn't want to kill 7 people? Why the fuck not? Are we saying that Building 7 was an accident? Oh, whoops! sorry, Clint forgot he was on break. He forgot to hit the plunger when the plane hit, but he's back now. And before I had a chance to tell him, he hit the plunger. That's really what we're telling ourselves? That the most sophisticated, advanced people in the world that are human farmers, are ranchers, that a rancher is that stupid? Over and over again? That we're just too clever? That we fell for 72 vaccines but not 73? Think about it, guys. Think about it. Don't listen to the bobber in your head. Go down deep, man. You'll find the fish. I do have my wisdom teeth, Mammy. In fact, I knew that health... what do you call it? It's not even a word. What do you call it when the government pretends like they're giving you health care? I learned really quick how much I didn't want that, because when I was in the Navy, they told me, oh, you have a wisdom tooth in your jaw that's raised up and is floating around here. It turns out it was a tumor and almost killed me, but they didn't take it out because they said it'll be fine. I think they intended... Well, how did they mess up, Gregory? Why would they mess up on that? Intended for Flight 93 to hit Building 7. How would you even get a plane... Do you realize that for a plane to be able to hit something like that, it would have to go about, 700 miles an hour? And it's physically impossible for a plane to go above 200 miles an hour unless it's higher up, that the elevation itself is actually what's contributing factor to how fast the plane goes. It's just, these are things to consider. Yeah, it's neither one, is it, Joe Mega? It's neither health insurance or health care, right? It's just kind of this weird, like, bureaucratic wood chipper is what it is. It's a wood chipper. It's a wood chipper that gives you needle pricks. And they're like, oh, you're fine now, but you got to wear a mask. But everything else is fine. Burn your foundation garments, bras and girdles in the fire. Ladies, I think you should all burn your bras and girdles in the fire and send me pictures so we can post them. They'd be great. It is sad that my mom's revolution, there were all these women burning bras, and in my revolution, we can't even get people to burn masks. You know, we've got a long way to go. We've got a long way to go. It does seem like energy, Gregor May. I agree with that. Luminaries seem like energy or light patterns. They really do. It seems more like energy. It's interesting. It's all consciousness, everything, says Jackson. You're right. And Jack 68, I think that we are slowly learning to wake up and see that, right? We're slowly learning to wake up and see what is going on around us. And this is the animism, right? This is this word animism that I introduced to you a few days ago. It's all over my book. To attribute the soul, and actually we fix this because even soul is non-animism if you think about it. But we're understanding that we're alive. We're understanding that these are blood vessels. We're understanding that these are amino acid chains. We understand what the Leviathan is, that concrete is a kind of skin, that steel girders are a kind of neurological network. But your brain and your heart are motors. Redemption and resurrection. You're going to love this book. Redemption and resurrection. Your brain is constantly flowing on the axis of redemption. That's good, that's bad. That's good, that's bad. That's good, that's bad. The Good Witch of the East. Glinda, the Good Witch. She told you she's a good witch. She dropped a fucking house on her sister and stole her fucking boots and gave them to you. And the entire time you thought, oh, Glinda's the greatest witch person in the world. Redemption. Good, evil, good, evil, good, evil, good, evil. That is the first axis of the cross. Resurrection. Yeah, baby. Yep. Die born, die born, die born, die born. Yep. Phoenix, serpent. Serpent, phoenix. Whoops. Serpent, phoenix. Serpent, phoenix. Oh, yeah. Phoenix, serpent. Serpent, phoenix. Serpent, phoenix. Serpent, phoenix. That's the other axis. Resurrection. Redemption and resurrection. That's the true cross. Redemption and resurrection. It's all right there. It's all right there. Could not get easier. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We just have to stop listening to this essay. We have to stop. There was no dojo today. I'm prepping for this thing. I'm sorry about that. But we had a powerful dojo last night. In fact, I haven't been able to upload it because some of us stayed later, like an hour later, and it's just taking a while to upload. So that'll be coming. I'll be uploading that after this. I don't know my plans yet tomorrow on the show. I would expect that we're going to do a show and a dojo during the afternoon tomorrow. That's my goal, because it'd be great to get a dojo in, because not everyone can come to Flattoberfest. So that's the tentative plan. But if this presentation is not going where it needs to go, I may need to take tomorrow off to do that. But the good news is that you guys will get all that, because when I come back on Monday, I will gladly give some good data. There'll be some good slides for the stuff that we're doing for IRA. So, yeah, that's that. You know, you guys be careful out there.
A good little Kit Kat. Go away. Big and scary. Holy. Oh. Oh. Go away. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Be careful.
Oh.
I'm very well established.
No! Get the Kuwait! Get the Kuwait! Holy, go get your babies.
They're in college.
Not coming back down, I promise. Go! Go! No!
You guys have a great day. Have a wonderful, beautiful Thursday. I appreciate y'all. And thanks for watching. Oh, man, I'd love it if you bought my book. I'd love it. Here's the link right there. You can pre-order right now. I'll sign you and mail you a copy by the end of the week, in the month. So please do. Please do. Yeah. I don't know what song's queued up. I should have done that. I don't know what song's queued up. This could be the dirty song. I don't think it is, because I'd rather play this other one. But we'll see what's queued up. Oh, that's the dirty one. Hang on a second. There. We'll start that over. All right. You guys have a great day. Remember the Alamo. And, yeah. Enjoy October 22nd. Yep. James out. Wait. James out.
In a city full of sounds, I know my way around. We are of the same kind. Endangered species hard to find. I'll give you some lone time. I need to go catch a high tide, 'cause I don't feel free. So I'm letting you know where I want to be. Driving by the shore, listening to a broken radio. Skyline neon lights are waking up the rangers of the night. Designated life. Feel the cold wind on my face. It's all around but leaves no trace. This is where I wanna be. I'm skipping stones into the sea. I'll give you some lone time. I need to go catch a